Welcome to First Namesake. So glad to have you here. I'm Valentine, and today's going to be a little bit different. I thought I would share with you 5 reasons why I am not married at this time. I'm speaking as a 32-year-old. The first reason is that in my 20s, going to church, there were not many single men available. If they were not attending the young adults class, and in the young adults classes they were already married. Some even had babies or very young children, and me and my sister were often the only single people in the class. Now there was a time when I was in discipleship school for 9 months. I was 19 years old, and there were quite a lot of single men, but it was required that we would not seek out a dating partner, not looking for a marriage at this time, because the whole focus at the discipleship school was really what it means to be a disciple and how to disciple others. Really serving the Lord, being close to Him, growing in our Christian walk. That was the whole goal of the discipleship school. So now they did give permission. When I say they, I'm talking about the leaders of the school, the church who set up the school. It was part of a church. They did say, now if you already are in a relationship with someone, then you may stay. But if you're not, then please don't seek it out. This is your time, you and God, and how to grow close to Him as a Christian. So, and even then, even after the discipleship school, when I look back on some of the young men there, some of them were just not suited for me, or I personally thought that some of them were still immature, kind of like me being back in high school. But that was just me. I had a lot of work myself that God needed to do on my part. The second reason why I'm not married is because there are certain seasons in my life where I was just not ready, emotionally, spiritually. It depended really on my walk with the Lord. If my walk with the Lord was great and I felt close to Him, then yes, I would have those times where I desired marriage. And there were other seasons in my life where I just was not close to the Lord. There were some personal things going on in my life where I just did not see how I could be married. And as a side note, it's not really a reason, but I would also say you should not seek marriage to fix things in your life. Let God do the fixing. So maybe I'll go into more of that in another video if you want to know more of what I'm talking about. Okay, the third reason is, especially back in my early 20s, even starting 19, I was more into the ministry, mission field. When I was 18, almost 19, I was in Indonesia for 4 months, serving with a missionary family, homeschooling their 3 children. And so I kind of had that mindset that I would be a missionary, was not seeking marriage. Plus I was very young still. And then right after Indonesia came the discipleship school opportunity that the Lord opened up. So as I mentioned there, you were not seeking marriage, you were seeking the Lord. And then I was in work. I worked in childcare at the churches, and helping out the church in that way. So yeah, that's another reason. The fourth reason was I was not ready to leave my family, and sometimes today I'm still not. I'm very close to my family. Like any other family, sure, we have our arguments, we have our bad days, we say things that we shouldn't and things that we don't mean, but all in all, we've always been very close-knit. When I was in Indonesia for 4 months, those were very difficult days and weeks for me, especially towards the end. It just dragged on and on. I could not wait to get home to my family. I was so homesick. And so there was always this nudge in the back of my mind, like, I don't know if I want to go through that again. I don't know if I want to get married and leave my family. Because there are some couples who are hours or states away from their parents, from their siblings, and I did not want to face that. Plus, at the time when I was in my 20s, I am the oldest sibling, and I'm 12 years older than my brother, and at that time he was still very young. He was only like 5. And I just was not ready to leave him and my sister and my parents. I wanted to watch him grow up and spend time with him. So that's another reason I'm very, very close to my family. And I'm not saying that once you're married you can't be close to your parents or siblings. I'm just saying that once you are married, I would think that most of your attention would be toward your husband and your own children that you raise up, if God should grant you children. You know, it's not that close one-on-one thing. You can't always pick up the phone. You got your own timetable now. And I'm just speaking from what I've observed because I'm not married. The 5th reason is God has not brought him to me yet. He has not brought a man who I can say I would see him as my future husband. So, I don't know how it's going to work out or if it will work out, because there are some people who are in the 30s and they're still not married, and some think that singleness is their calling. And yes, for some it may be. You might have heard of Amy Carmichael. She was a missionary to India. At one time she thought about marriage until she just brought that to the Lord, and then she felt like singleness was her calling and to minister to the children in India. And there's another woman, Nancy DeMoss Wolgemuth. You've heard me mention her before. She's the founder, the director of Revive Our Hearts Ministry. She truly thought that as the years passed that singleness was her calling in the ministry. She didn't think about marriage. She talked about marriage. She spoke very highly of marriage, as do I, and a godly marriage. So she didn't really give marriage a thought until a man came into her life, and God was the one who awakened that desire back to her. And it took it took a lot of prayer on her part, especially since she was in her 60s, I think, at the time. So it's not too late to get married. I just think it's all the Lord's doing. It's all the Lord's work. Don't rush to seek. Now, if you have that desire to get married, just pray and ask the Lord what you can do for him in the meantime while you wait. And if it's not his will for you to get married, then I think that God will give you peace about what to do in your life, because our lives should be to glorify God, and I'm still learning myself. So those are the 5 reasons. Kind of a short video. This is something new that my family, my parents and I prayed about for the channel, maybe to reach a younger audience, because I'm sure there are others like you who are watching that are in your 20s, 30s, you're not married, you're single. But not only just single, I'm thinking about those who want to know what it's like to walk the Christian life. Maybe you didn't grow up Christian, or maybe you just had a lot of trials in your life. Maybe you're not really close to the Lord. I don't know, just you can pray with me about this. It's something that the Lord has laid in our hearts to do, and I'm not sure what this segment will be called. I'll pray about it, write down some ideas. I might do a poll on the community post, and you can help me decide what the segment of this portion with me shall be. And if you have any ideas or questions, leave them in the comments down below, or send an email for his name's sake 106@gmail.com. And I hope and pray that you stick around. Hope the video encouraged you or got you thinking that you don't have to be a certain age or a certain way to get married or not be married. I'll just leave it up to the Lord. So, hope that you like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And Lord willing, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.